Welcome to the Mayhem News live wrestling broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives. And each week, we are here to talk about wrestling headlines and cover everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and always keep up with our show and wrestling news. Hi, this is the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives, and this is the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for 1/21/2014. Headlines were a little today, so not sure how long this show's going to be. Got some good information, though, so, it's always good. We're coming from you from the frozen north. It's rather chilly outside. If you watch my Vine videos, you know. We'll go ahead and start off. Mick Foley's current WWE contract is running out. But Foley did state via his Twitter that him and WWE have agreed to work together on a handshake agreement and as a needed basis. Yeah. Says hello. But he did a lot. He did something similar during the stuff he did with Orton. So, and Mick says it actually probably was some of his best work, so. Alright, this next topic, it's pretty big, so I'm going to go ahead. Sting's most quoted saying is this, and I quote, "The only thing that's for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure." Our big question this week is, will Sting go to the WWE? Now, I want to let you know now, this is a spoiler alert, okay? This concerns a show that will be aired this Thursday on Impact Wrestling, okay? If you don't want to, know what happens on Impact Wrestling, as far as what relates to Sting and versus Magnus, title versus contract, then you need to stop this video and wait till after Thursday to watch it. But, do come back and watch it. Okay, like I said, I'm going to say this one more time. Spoiler alert. In the TNA wrestling schedule for this Thursday, it's already been pre-recorded. Sting will face Magnus with his contract on the line. I'm going to again say it. Spoiler alert. Sting basically is screwed out of his contract by DC. And is said to be gone from TNA. Now, okay, there are two ways to look at this. The first way is it a swerve? Second, is it a storyline development? Or is it true that he's gone from TNA? Think about Devon. Everybody thought when Devon lost the match and he had to leave TNA while he was in Aces and Eights, everybody thought that was a swerve, that he'd be back later on. That was actually not the case. He had actually decided not to renew his contract with TNA and leave. So that's why they wrote him out that quick. Sting has been wrote out of the storylines. As far as we know, there are no, hints. I don't know, maybe he might be part of this investor thing. There's hints of other people. We don't know. But is it a swerve? Okay, that's one way to look at it. Is he going to come back after the contract's signed? But right now, he has not signed a contract with. And normally, over the last 2, 3, 4 years, the time he's been there, he has actually signed those contracts very fast. Usually, by the time everybody really starts talking about, him leaving and going to the WWE, he's already signed a contract with TNA. Right when they start. Well, they're still talking about it, and he hadn't signed a contract. So, people like, wrestlers like Sting, Angle, Ken Anderson, people like that have been other places, or people like that have a certain popularity, to me are like key pins. or keystones in an organization. When they start leaving, that organization becomes weaker, unsteady even. So now you think Sting is probably, I would say, since he has been listed by WWE as the biggest name that has not worked for them, I think that if he does leave, this is a big loss for TNA. In my opinion, and as a Sting fan, I think it would be wise. Before WrestleMania, or at the time of WrestleMania 30, Sting will be 55 years old. If he's going to do a big jump to WWE, now is the time. It would be perfect for him to jump over, get into it, do whatever they want him to do. He's far enough in his career. He's got enough following that I really doubt they would screw with his character much, because 9 times out of 10, if he did go to WWE, he probably wouldn't be on the full active roster for more than a year. Then he would do a pretty much retirement, maybe, and then come back, for the Hall of Fame and a Legends contract. Now that would be perfect, because he could, as I said last show, he could have 4, count them, 4 Hall of Fame rings. 3 WWE Hall of Fame rings and 1 from TNA. The 3 from WWE would be 1 for himself. Okay. 1 from, he could the Blade Runners. And then 1 for also the Wolfpack. And if you think about it, he might even have a 5th one. If history serves me right, Sting was actually in the 4 Horsemen. Not very long, but he was in the 4 Horsemen. Just wishful thinking. Anyway, so, right now would be a time to go. If he starts to leave, it would literally begin the death rattle to me, and I don't know. I think he's going to go. Now is the time. I think, I can tell you, whatever arena, unless it's somewhere in New York, their crowds stink. Wherever they go for that show that he walks out on, that crowd is going to blow the roof off of that building. They're literally going to think, after it goes off the air, that they're in Lambeau Field, because the roof is going to be gone. There's proof. I posted a picture on Twitter last night for Sting to see. I said, if you have any doubt that they want you in WWE and the fans want you there, there's a sign right on Monday Night Raw, first thing to start off the show. We want Sting. And I'm pretty sure they don't want the singer, because he's a long time from when he was in shape when he was on Dune, okay? So we want the wrestler Sting in WWE. Wherever he is, I will continue to watch him, but I just think it would be so awesome for him to be there, and I just think it would. Moving on. Everybody knows that the Ultimate Warrior has been announced for the first 2014 Hall of Fame. Now, there are some very notable and very credible people talking about that the Ultimate Warrior the Hall of Fame may not be the only thing he's involved in. Okay? The reason why is when you're involved in the Hall of Fame, after the Hall of Fame, you usually get a Legends contract. Now, there's a lot of people talking that the proposed Legend contract that the Ultimate Warrior would have would not be the standard Hall of Fame contract. Meaning that, I've seen the Ultimate Warrior's workout videos, I know what kind of shape he's in. It would be nothing for him to be back in the ring for, a pretty good time, pretty good, Hell, if Triple H can do it, if people like, think about it. If Ric Flair could get in there and jump off the top rope, hey, just so, that's something to think about. Think about some of the matches they could have. Having the Ultimate Warrior team with John Cena against Hulk Hogan and whoever, or vice versa. If Hulk Hogan does come. If he's going to be on TV, he needs to be in WWE. That's what buttered his bread for years. I mean, it's all good that he's trying to do everything on his own. Hulk Hogan, even as much crap as I give Hulk Hogan, and mainly most of it is because of what happens out of the ring. Hulk Hogan made wrestling what it is today. If Hulkamania had not started, if Vince McMahon had not started WrestleMania, if all this stuff, if those Monday Night Wars hadn't happened, we would not have wrestling like we have now. But so I think it would be great. Now there's a lot, and as we've all said, everybody knows. Everybody knows that a rumor is just that. And a lot of people are talking about, who's going to be at WrestleMania 30 or who's going to make surprise entrances into the Rumble. They've mentioned Chris Jericho, who is actually going to be free for WrestleMania around that time. There's people they're talking about who the Undertaker's going to face. Talking about Sting. They're talking about now there's one person that I really don't think you're gonna see. Well, two of them actually. Stone Cold. Stone Cold made when Stone Cold did an interview with a local, I think it was a local newspaper. He said what concerns him is the time it would take him to get back where he would be comfortable and felt that he would be safe in the ring. He really doubted that he would have the time to get into shape fast enough to be in the ring. He would think it would take too long, that the idea of him going into the ring would literally, pass on with WWE because it would take him a while to get into shape. So, Goldberg, I think Goldberg wants to come back, but Goldberg wants his money's worth. Goldberg knows what he's capable of doing in the ring. He knows that people want to see him there, and he wants to be paid accordingly. Because he knows that if he comes back, 9 times out of 10 when he leaves, he's probably not coming back. He's not going to be like Brock Lesnar, where come back anytime he wants to beat his face on TV and insult my senses. Anyway, thank God he doesn't talk anymore. They used to pick on the Ultimate Warrior about his promos, but at least he could actually do one. I mean, now, guys, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You really couldn't understand half what he was saying. He was talking about moonbeams and stuff falling from the sky on lightning bolts. But, hey, that time, that was cool. But, at least he can actually get up on TV and not look like an idiot and talk, I'm going to move on to Impact Wrestling. There's a lot of stuff in Impact Wrestling I just don't understand. Ethan Carter III is one of them. That is the stupidest storyline I've ever seen in my. It's almost as bad as Eric Bischoff's nephew, or them letting us think that Mr. Kennedy was Vince McMahon's son, which, now that was actually funny. But this Ethan Carter crap, the fact that he's saying he's undefeated and he hadn't really never wrestled anybody without being helped and cheated. This crap with this crazy guy in the background going around smelling shoes after he beats people up. And now you've got Bully walking around looking like AJ Styles did before, which I think is a poke at AJ Styles a little bit. and then you've got this secret investor, and that's kind of a poke at Jeff Jarrett, which I'm pretty sure Jeff Jarrett's going, yeah, okay. Yeah, Jeff is waving from a dinghy as he floats away from the sinking ship, going, really? But anyway, it opens up with Dixie Carter, or who I like to call the gun to TNA's head. If they continue to let her talk, TNA the trigger's going to be pulled, and Dixie, you are not Stephanie McMahon. And I'm not saying Stephanie is perfect on the microphone, but Dixie Carter, she has been in the wrestling business half of your lifetime, at least. She is the daughter of Vince McMahon. She grew up.
She is the granddaughter of Vince.
In the business. She is the granddaughter of Vince McMahon Sr. You are not. You don't know. And that voice, it's
Vicky Guerrero.
I mean, you're not Vicky Guerrero. You're not even close. You're more like that crazy girl who used to sing. Whatever her name was. Jillian Hall. It's like, I would actually rather listen to Jillian Hall sing than you talk. It's like a dog has developed a people whistle. And there's thousands of dogs blowing them. And my ears are going, oh, please, just gouge me out, please. Oh. Leave the promos to people who know how to do them. At least Rockstar Spud's a wrestler. He can cut a promo. And his voice doesn't eat at my brain. It's bad. It's really bad. To make this show even halfway decent, Sting's promos literally carried the show. Besides, there were several other things. Sting's promos, the match between Bully Ray and Ken Anderson, and Austin Aries putting Saban in his place. The fact that you take a pay-per-view and put it on TV, okay, in a 2-hour spot, which from what I understand, most of your pay-per-views are 2 hours, but you have to continue it for another week. Now, I'm not going to talk about what's going to happen on next week's show, except for what we mentioned earlier. And I like Magnus and all that, but I don't know. And I watch the show because I report on it. And if I can't watch it, I look at the reports. And I'm not the only one saying this. Now, there's more people than Sting that I like in TNA. I can name just a few. Sting, Bobby Roode, EY, Eric Young, ODB, Gail Kim, and many, many more. Bully Ray.
The talent, not the show.
The talent's great. I can even put up with Zema Ion. Can't stand the character, but the guy's got skills. Chris Sabin, except for this womanizing and chauvinistic bullcrap. I'm gonna be honest. We can look at Velvet Sky all day. She don't even have to talk. She can just stand there and smile. That's what I'm saying. It's not the people that's in the ring. It's just the fact that they're done so bad. They do these weird storylines. The Thanksgiving show it is like Batman 2. People don't want to talk about it. It was so bad. And I am not a wrestling promoter. I do not know what if you were to tell me when I need you to set up a wrestling show, I am a fan. I know what we like, and it's like drinking. You ever, get a good cup of coffee, and you forget about it, and then you accidentally reach over there and pick up a drink, and that cold coffee. That's what that show was. It was like, Raw and SmackDown don't do a perfect show every week, but they do some shows that are halfway decent. That you're saying, that was a damn good show. There's very few. But that was pretty much it. There was no, Moving on to SmackDown, the New Age Outlaws defeat Goldust and Cody to start off the show. But we have to give an assist to Vicky Guerrero for walking out in the middle of the match to do a Royal Rumble announcement, which distracted Cody, causing them to lose. Naomi, who defeats Tamina with a split-legged moonsault. Kane actually choke-slammed CM Punk. And it was an okay show. It was kind of short on content. But moving on to Raw.
Go ahead.
Okay, my only problem with Raw was actually a very decent show. My only problem with Raw is that there was no tribute to Mae Young near the start of the show. Now, I understand that they were calling this the Martin Luther King tribute show, which I understand. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. But at least they showed the YouTube video that they posted on YouTube, which was awesome, by the way. Made me a little teary-eyed, really did. But it would have been nice to see Stephanie and Triple H actually make a statement, or even do the little bell toll like they used to do. But, I guess things have happened in the past. It's changed the way they do things, so who knows. But is it possible that WWE can give us two good shows in a row? Actually, I think they did. I think they made it. Orton was not pleased with the Authority. He came out basically insulting Stephanie McMahon and pretty much saying that, he felt he was not being treated right. And then she interrupted him and said, well, look what you did last week. You attacked an innocent man sitting there with his back turned. It was a big thing. And now you're going to basically, Triple H says, now you're going to deal with the consequences. You're going to deal with Cena. You're going to deal with Kofi after you lost. And, you're going to do it all by yourself. But, and apparently, the Authority doesn't care that Orton was upset, and neither does Batista. I think maybe Batista shouldn't have been wearing the skinny jeans, but I guess he was trying to show off that he was still in pretty good shape. Let's see. And he actually let Orton know exactly why he was there, and that was the belts and stuff that Orton holds. He wants the WWE World Heavyweight title. The Shield defeats Big E and the Brotherhood. Fandango defeats Xavier Wood. CM Punk defeats Billy Gunn and basically is told by Kane that he will be the number one entrant in the Royal Rumble, which is kind of sucky. Del Rio defeats Mysterio and gets Batista bombed for all that crap he's been talking over the last 2 weeks, which I really thought was funny. Lesnar basically is told by the Big Show to come out. He kind of pulls that walking away crap. He's not going to do it. Of course, Big Show tells him to get his ass out there. And the big thing that happened, though, is Lesnar realizes that he's still the Big Show's bitch. He got tossed through the ring and then got tossed out on his ass. Thought it was very funny.
And busted his ass.
And then busted his ass over the shit that he took off of the announce table. I really thought that was funny, too. And if I'd have been at ringside, I'd have probably fell on the ground laughing. I really would have. I would have been rolling. If I had been the King or JBL and them, I would have literally been on the floor rolling and laughing my ass off. And I would have told him, you busted your ass. Cameron and Naomi defeat Tamina and AJ Lee. A very upset AJ Lee after Barrett who actually gets a little more respect from me by telling her that the only reason nobody showed up at her party is because they can't stand her. And seeing Tamina's face after getting hit with a cake, yeah. The Usos defeat Rowan and Harper. And, yeah, Daniel Bryan pretty much comes out and helps out. Kofi loses to Orton, but keeps him from leaving after John Cena comes out and pretty much attacks Orton, which causes the DQ. He chases him out. Even though he said he wasn't going to get no help, somebody was driving that car that Orton left, so that's going to be interesting. And that's the way the show went off the air. So, I mean, it was a decent week in wrestling. But I really can't wait till the network starts. And that is really not that far away. But as always, I want to let you know, follow my, check out my sponsors. You can follow Zach Pack Promotions at ZachPack.com, ZachPackPromotions.com. That is at ZPack Promotions on Twitter. And you can also search Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook. You can also check out Fight Disability Slurs, me and my wife's webpage, to fight the use of disability slurs. It's a good fight. We're doing the best we can. Also, I want to give a shout out to Fiddler, who the music you hear at the first of this video gives basically. They gave us our theme song. I appreciate it. That's Fiddler. Throttle, and Fiddler Throttle is Mike Fiddler is the guy. Is one of the band members. So follow him on Twitter, by the way. They gave us New Blood. They got a new album out. You can check their stuff out on Amazon. Just search them on there. Also, check out Blast 52. That's at Blast 52 on YouTube and Twitter. And you can follow the drummer Stephanie at Blast 52 Drummer. And I want to give a shout out to Girls with Big Guns Clan. They are a Call of Duty clan on PS3 and Xbox. They are expanding to Xbox and everything. And don't forget to subscribe here. This show can also be seen on mayhem-news.com. You can also follow us on there as well. And but don't forget to subscribe, like, leave comments if you will. If you want us, you can also follow us on Google+. And basically, we have a community. You can tell us what you want us to talk about. And I appreciate it. That's been the show for today. We will catch you later.